Hey guys, today's video is on the Christmas story, but what I actually really want to hit home on is this right here. Presents you can actually get from the Christmas story. All of these presents are actually from the Christmas story, and that's what I really want to hit home on. However, we need a little background, a little timeline of the Christmas story in case you're not familiar with it. And so that's what we're gonna do first off, and then there will be a video clip called Presents You Get from the Christmas Story. That's going to be linked on the bottom, and again, that's really like the cream of the crop. That is the heart message of just what I want to say this week. But to get going, the Christmas story. All right, so this is the timeline that I've put together. And I think it's really important for us to really actually start with Zacharias and Elizabeth and work our way all the way down. Now, some of us may be familiar with the Christmas story, but in case you're not, it's going to be important because you're not going to understand the presents that you get from him, God, if you don't know the timeline and the storyline of just Jesus and his birth. So, where we're going to start. We are going to actually start with Zacharias and Elizabeth, okay? Now, it's really significant that we start with Zacharias and Elizabeth because they are actually going to give birth to someone, and his name is John the Baptist. And it's very significant. And so we will go more in depth with that in a little bit, but we're going to start with Zacharias and Elizabeth. All right, so Zacharias, he goes into the temple one day and he has an encounter with an angel, and an angel says, Zacharias, you're going to have a baby. And the angel tells Zacharias all these things that this baby is going to do. But Zacharias, who was old, mind you, so Zacharias and Elizabeth, they were old, he didn't believe the angel. And because he didn't believe, the angel actually said that Zacharias was going to be unable to speak until John the Baptist was born. And there's actually some really key significance behind that, and we will talk on that in a little bit, okay? So that's your backdrop, all right? So Elizabeth and Zacharias, they get pregnant, and then we're going to sidetrack over here, okay? They get pregnant. Well, in the midst of them getting pregnant, we have got Mary, okay? Now, a lot of us probably know who Mary is, right? Mary was Jesus' mother. So an angel shows up to Mary as well and says, you're going to have a baby, and his name's going to be Jesus, and it's going to be amazing, all right? And so what happens is Mary is supposed to be getting married to Joseph, okay? And Joseph finds out that Mary's pregnant, but Joseph and her, you know, they didn't do anything, if you know what I mean. And so Joseph's kind of like, whoa, like what's going on? Well, an angel appears to Joseph in a dream and pretty much just tells him, you know, no, this is legit. Like, Mary really is going to give birth to Jesus. Here he is. And you are to still marry her. And so, you know, Joseph got confirmation that, like, okay, this is legit. Mary really did get pregnant pretty much like because of God. Like, she didn't go do anything with someone else. And so that's a little backdrop of Mary and of Joseph. Well, before Mary and Joseph have a baby, and before Elizabeth and Zacharias have a baby, Elizabeth and Mary actually spend time together. And so when the angel showed up to Mary, the angel actually said, your relative mind you, relative, I never even knew that, is pregnant. So the angel actually told her, I think it was her cousin actually, is pregnant. And so they actually go spend time together. And I think it's really, really significant because remember, Zacharias was unable to speak. And I think a lot happened when they were with each other. I think they were with each other for 3 months. Think about it. Like if you were pregnant and your spouse couldn't speak to you, it would probably be nice to have a friend there to like talk to you and encourage you, right? And so I thought that was really cool. Well, after 3 months, Mary goes back home and Elizabeth ends up having John the Baptist, all right? So we're going to go back to Mary and Joseph. All right, so there's some traveling that actually ends up happening. So Mary goes back home and Joseph ends up and Mary, they actually have to go to another town. And so they travel and they end up at, where do they end up at? I should know all this. I have to write it down. They end up in Bethlehem. All right. And so that's actually where Jesus was born. Here's our timeline again, which I'll put on the bottom. All right. So they go to Bethlehem. And Jesus was born, all right? After Jesus was born, the shepherds come and visit Jesus. We're not going to go in depth with that, but they go visit Jesus. And then after that, Mary and Joseph and Jesus actually end up going to the temple, all right? And a lot of things happen in this temple. It's significant, but the two things I'm going to hit home on is some encouragement given from a gentleman named, now I don't even know, is his name Simon? Is it Simeon? I don't really know, but there's a gentleman there who gives some really encouraging words to Mary and Joseph. And there's actually a woman named Anna, okay? And this is very significant, and I really feel presents come from this story, and we'll talk more about it when we unravel and dig deep into the presents in the next video. After they have that temple visit, then the wise men show up. That's another whole story, but again, because of time, we're not going to go in depth. But the wise men show up to see Jesus. Those were the ones that brought the presents, the frankincense, the myrrh, and was it gold? I should really know these things. Anyways, that was the group of people that brought the presents, just so you know. And then after that, Mary and Joseph and Jesus, they end up having to do a lot more travel, okay? So I really took a story that could be explained. Honestly, we could spend like hours and hours and hours in this timeline, but I wanted to give you a quick timeline of the Christmas story. Now for the kicker, okay? We are going to pull apart that story and see all of the presents you get from it. So watch that video. It's going to be linked on the bottom. All right, see you soon.